losing somebody. We didn't want to cry. We always wanted to make everything and turn it to a joke. Because that's how Robbie was. A very dedicated man, an honest guy. He was very honest to me. When I'm outsala ungihleba naye, makakuzwa ngathi userious uzongitshela. Athi mnganami, labantu laba basplota laba. Mara bekanawe nixoxa nithulene. Mara uzokujikela athi hey, yabona makulontando umbheke mfana ngathi ufuna ukuvaya. So that's how honest he was to me, and he was a big dreamer. Makahlala straight view. Bekathi uhlala edrobheni. Athi ngihlala town mfana mara ngithi kuphi? Athi ngale bathi before straight. Ngithi uhlala kuphi? You know, he always had this. He was a big dreamer. Makahlala e4ways. Sisahlala ema-town housing. Bekakutshela ukuthi sengise-Dane fan mina mfana. Makahlala e-Dane fan. No ngithengile le RTPs nginedami. So he was a big dreamer. He always wanted to be number one. And Nciza, he always wanted to be famous. Always. But he was selfless. He was not obsessed about him making it only. Many hits that you've heard that are written, big hits in this country, he was part of them. He assisted many artists. He wrote their songs. He was not obsessed about himself. I'm making it. I'm Mr. So-and-so. Of course, he wanted to be recognized as Robbie because he worked hard. However, he wanted other people to rise because that was his contribution to the music industry. Because you can't only be obsessed about yourself and not be obsessed about other people. Because it means if we don't, for instance, you can't lead people that you don't love. This is what I always say to comrades. Because if you love your people, you lead them selflessly. We can't sit here and say we're in the industry, we're assisting people, and we don't love them. It's very dangerous to be led by a person who doesn't love his people. You know, I'm a joke saying awakhuluma wami no Robbie are too much ngizonibhalela one day. Ngoba bekushaya nokuba ushaya dangerous. Dangerous kakhulu. Mara, one thing that I want us to remember Robbie for, and I'm very sad that even the next generation will not be able to experience what we experienced. Robbie was one of the best producers, if not the best. And I'm proud and happy that in a memorial service, Obrasilo Chico Twala said this. Because we recognized Chico Twala as the best at the time. Brasilos said it at Grace Bible Church, that in fact, he believed Robbie was the best producer of our times. We made history, no Robbie. Sipuma Supegela worked hard. He was a bit older than me. But he respected me like a brother. He respected me like a person who led him. We respected each other. Today, we are able to say the biggest record on record that was ever done in this country was done by us. And we are proud of that. Of course, the biggest record before us was Brenda Fass. But there was no digital. So if you combine digital music and physical, we surpass it by far. So it wouldn't have happened if Robbie Malinga did not do this. So we're not saying he's the best because we enjoy saying it. We say it because he was the best. It's proven, it's on record. And there's one producer, and Sbu said this, who could do and move with times. And it's difficult to do that. Because you can't move into another genre. Robbie did it with ease. Satanu Champama fans by Timbinkosi, it was him. The paraphrase, Abanye Bayombona, it was him. Zahara, it was him. Dando, it was him. double HP, Swarangwa, no, it was him. I'm saying you can go on and on about Robbie. You will understand who he was. Going back to even Basafaka Mashiti, Bachampa no Blondi, he was there. You know, so platform one and so on. So we're speaking about a true legend, and we must never be afraid to say so. Two last things I want to say before I leave the stage. On a daily basis, we're told artists are not united. I'm talking about from the Mandela time. The President Mandela, President Thabo Mbeki, and President Zuma. No, artists are not united. That's why Ndoza was ngalungi. And so on and so on. It's not true. Like any other business, there will be different organizations. And there's nothing wrong when people are coming, hey, namhlanje bekuzumzwakhe what? Kusasa kuzuyuchin what? Nawe ut. What is wrong when people are lobbying you? What is important is implementation of policies. Not just policies, radical policies. Because the biggest problem we have now is sound, stage, all sorts of things that you procure as government. You are procuring them from white people even today, including what is happening in the content, SABC and everywhere else. You are still using white companies. Now, those are the things we must look at, because you can't think you have contributed in the industry when you are booking one artist. We must be decisive and say anything that has to do with entertainment, as long as you are not empowered, we are not going to procure you. Finish. Then we are in the game. Secondly, you see, I used to be a big critic of the 90%. Not because I thought it was wrong, but because I thought it was not implemented correctly. You can't want to speak to 90% and personalize it, one. Two, you can't want to speak to 90% and only SABC is looking at that. It must be an ICASA issue, not SABC. We must raise these things with ICASA so that you must understand how monopoly operates. Once, because these white companies that are foreign, Universal and all of them, and I'm sorry to black brothers that are working there, those companies, remember, when their music from international is not playing, they are losing revenue. They are very connected to the advertisers and so on. That is why SABC will lose revenue when they pull out as advertisers. That's why they will quickly spin and say, no, this thing is making us lose revenue and so on. But when it is across, all stations are playing 90% local music like anywhere else in the world, by the way. It will not only harm white monopoly, but it will assist all artists. Their music will be exposed. That is their provident fund. We must never retreat from the issue of 90%, but it must be across. We must make sure that we continue to push and persist for it, so that Intwana Robbie Lapaya can benefit from the hits Zagabawake. This continuous thing of wanting to talk about owning this, owning that, is not an issue. You can own 100% of nothing. It doesn't matter if you own your master. It doesn't matter. If your music is not played, you're owning nothing. So let's fight harder. And comrades who are in government, assist us to be radical, because you are speaking about radical economic transformation now. Show us how it must be done. No, your house is bigger than the others and so on. It's fagi sounding. Or Babe transformed. Everybody must be transformed. Malinga, I know your loss. You must never even once think there would have been an issue. He was with you through and through. That's why even in his last days, uhambile nawe, waya in Maldives, just to say goodbye. Hola mama, uRobbie sembonile, uRobbie in his last year, suffered. So asimkhulule. Let's allow him to go. I never thought I can speak in front of this man. But lala kahle mfana kithi. Lala kahle Malinga. Ungiphilisile ngikuphilisile. Ngiyabonga.